Hey guys, so we're back with another video here, and in this one we're going to talk about the 15 invaluable laws of growth. And I'm only going to give you 3 of the main ones in this video because I do want to keep it short. But this is not only growth in your, career, but also growth as a person as well. So I'm going to get right into this, okay? So the first one is curiosity is extremely important for success. You must be curious to seek more information. Okay, so curiosity is a huge part of success. And I see this, in poker as well. For people who kind of like just treat the studying of poker like, it's just like, oh, I'm just going to, just study and just to get it over with, instead of just like studying with actual curiosity, like, I wonder what happens in this spot. I wonder what happens here, right? And it's the same thing with any field. Like if you're not curious, if you don't have that, I don't know how else to put it, like if you don't have that curiosity to seek more information, then you probably won't seek it. Right? Because if you're not curious, you'll just like continue doing very like kind of boring studying on whatever craft that is. And we're not talking about just poker here. Just very boring studying where you're just like, yeah, I'm studying. You're like very passive studying, let's call it, instead of like, okay, I see what happened here. What about if I switch this? What if I do that? Right? Like think about like how scientists are. When they're like, let's say studying like a potion or something like that, where they're just like looking at this potion, like, what if I add this thing? What if I put this thing? What if I take this thing out? What if I change the color of it? What if I add this little droplet to it, right? So you want to be curious when you're learning. You can cultivate that curiosity, right? Just by almost acting curious. Like I just like the way I did that. Look at this potion. Ooh, look at this. If I was a scientist, I would try to cultivate that curiosity, try to manifest that curiosity by taking those actions. Like, wow, let's see if this changes the color. Let's see if that happens. Let's see if the liquid turns into this. Or like when you're studying poker, let's see if I switch the turn card. Let's see if I switch the turn suit. Let's see if I put in this river. What happens then? What happens to the sizings then? What if I plug in that river, right? What if I make the guy bet this size? What's going to happen then? Now I'm exaggerating the curiosity here, but you get the point. You want to be curious when you're learning, because when you're curious, you start to engage the mind more. You start to engage your emotions more, and you'll start to study more effectively because you'll hold more of that information. We're like, when you're really paying attention when you're studying. So keep that in mind and try to cultivate more of that curiosity. Second one I love. This is something I talk about in a lot of my videos, and it's about motivation. Motivation gets you going, but discipline keeps you growing. So what does that mean? It's the motivation that first starts you from when you're doing something. But there's a big but to this, because everyone, that knows me on a deeper level knows that I don't believe that motivation is something to ever be relied on, because it is just a feeling. It's going to come and go. You might feel motivated today. You might not feel motivated tomorrow. You might feel motivated this week. You might not feel motivated next week. Okay, same with this month and that month. So if you rely on motivation to really, get things done or like to be productive or successful in any which way possible, you're not going to be, if you're relying on motivation. Really, it's that simple, because motivation is going to come and go. You can't control motivation. It's not in your direct control whether you feel motivated or not. Okay, some days you're just not going to feel motivated. It's just really that simple. But you could discipline yourself. That's the key, right? So let's say, for example, you start a new craft. Okay, let's talk about poker, because a lot of the viewers of my channel are poker players. So let's talk about poker. When you first start playing poker, you have a lot of motivation. You're like, wow, this is so motivating. I want to play poker and make enough money to quit my job, to feel this freedom, to do this, to do that, to have this lifestyle. There's all that motivation's fired up, right? You're all fired up. Even after you watch this video, you watch me like just talking like that, you might be fired up. You're like, wow, I'm fired up again, Jack. I'm ready to grind. I'm ready to do this. I'm ready to attack. Yes, but there's a big but to this. Whatever motivation you may be feeling while you're watching this video, while you watch, one of your favorite motivational videos or whatever, it is short-lived, okay? Next week, next month, it's, probably not going to be there. Let's be real. Motivation is not long-lasting. It comes in short spurts and then it goes away. So motivation does get you started with something. It does help put that fire in your ass to get you started with something, but it's the discipline that's going to keep you there long term. It's that discipline. It's keeping those promises to yourself. Let's say you tell yourself, you know what? I'm going to be playing poker 6 hours a day, 5 days a week. I don't care if I feel motivated or I don't feel motivated. That's what I'm going to do. And you make a promise to yourself and you keep the promises to yourself through discipline. Okay, you learn to discipline yourself. But also through that, what I recommend to do that is to reward yourself on a daily basis. Every single day, you should be giving yourself some kind of reward. And it doesn't matter what it is. It could be after the 6 hours you play the guitar because you like playing guitar. Maybe yoga is your reward. You love doing yoga and it relaxes your mind, so you do that, or you meditate for 30 minutes because that's what you love. Or you watch your favorite, you watch a movie that you really like, or you watch your favorite show for a couple of hours after you play poker, or after you do your craft, like poker or whatever. It could go for anything, right? So you give yourself a little cookie, at the end of every single day, to tell yourself, you know what, I appreciate you and I reward you for staying disciplined, right? And then if you want to take it another level further, which I think you should, you take that cookie away if you don't do what you said you were going to do, right? So let's say, for example, you set out to play 6 hours today, but you played 4 hours. And usually at nighttime, you watch, a couple of episodes of your favorite show. You don't allow yourself to do that unless you played your 6 hours, right? So you leave that cookie at the end of the 6 hours. So that's a very effective technique. That's a technique I've been using for the last year or two, to really give myself those very allow myself to feel a reward for being disciplined, right? To reward myself for disciplining myself. So think about that. So you could, it is an option. You could just play or just work or whatever when you're motivated. But the problem is there's going to be months that you don't feel motivated, like literal months. And then 2 months will go by. And let's say, for example, let's use poker, for example. Let's say a few weeks goes by and you're just like, I'm not that motivated in these few weeks. And you just don't play. And then like the few weeks goes by and then like now you are motivated. And then when you are motivated, you're like, shit, I wish I had been playing this whole time. God, I wish I'd been playing these 3 weeks when I wasn't motivated, because now I'm really motivated and I want to make money because I want to, I want to pay for this or I want to do that. Whatever it is, there has to be that, if you want to be successful, okay, I should start with that. If you want to be a huge success and you want to be an overachiever and reach your fullest potential, then you must let go of the motivation, because motivation is really just it's just a false, in my opinion. Like I said, it's just a feeling. Think about this with like your relationship in your life. Let's say your girlfriend or your boyfriend. Do you only respect and love them when you feel like loving them, or you just love them just because, right? Like you're just like, oh, I don't feel the love, so I'm not gonna love them today. It doesn't work that way. It's like the same thing with poker, or if you have like a normal job, right? You're just like, you wake up at like 8 o'clock one morning and you're just like, you know what? I don't feel motivated to go into work. I'm just not gonna do it, right? Like people would work like 2 months a year in that case, probably. If they only went into work when they were like, you know what, I actually feel like going into work today. I'm just gonna do that. But we have to, like, with poker or any job or any entrepreneurship kind of thing where we're our own bosses, you have to learn to kind of discipline yourself and like get to work whether you feel like it or not. Okay, so let's get to this last one here. Having a mentor or a coach is crucial for reaching your full potential. Be sure to choose wisely. Okay, up until about a year ago, I actually was a mentor and a coach for hundreds of people. Not hundreds, probably like about 100 people on Team 651 and like through my YouTube channel and things like that. But I didn't actually have a coach or a mentor that was currently in my life. I had a lot of coaches and mentors throughout my life, but I realized that, and I got a coach again, and like it just feels so much better. You feel like somebody just has your back, and somebody can see those blind spots, because everyone, I don't care how much self-development work you've done, I don't care how much poker studying you've done, there's always blind spots. There's always something you can't see, whether it's the mental aspect of it, whether it's the practical aspect of it. There's always something that you're unable to see within yourself that a mentor or a coach can point out to you, right? So there's always benefit in having a very a good mentor and coach, because there's a lot of people that are mentor and coaches, or they can label themselves as mentors or coaches, but they might not be of the highest quality. So make sure you vet your mentor or your coach. Make sure this is someone that you either want to be like, or someone that can help you see things that you may not be able to see yourself. Someone that you have a lot of respect for, somebody that's like very high up in that craft or in that field that you're in, someone that has a strong, is strong mentally as well, not just with the practical aspects of it. So be careful on who you choose to be your mentor and your coach, but also be aware that if you do want to reach your fullest potential, not only in your career, but in your life, you should really reach out to have a mentor or a coach that's going to help you through anything, any bumps along your journey to success. And there's always, trust me, there's always going to be bumps, whether that be in your financial life, whether that be your personal life, whatever it is, there's always bumps on the way. Sometimes, like when we're feeling so high, we feel like, there's never going to be any bumps. Everything's always going to go this smooth, and it's not. And then sometimes when you're low, you get that illusion too. Like, so sometimes when you're too high, you get that illusion like everything's smooth sailing, it's always going to be this way. And then sometimes when you're low, you also get the illusion of like, it's always going to be this bad, this is terrible, this is horrific. But really, it's just a change in perception, right? When you're up here, you're perceiving things probably better than what they are. They're probably around here. And then when you're down here, you're perceiving things, your brain is seeing things worse than what they actually are. And you're probably, again, right around this middle area. You're probably like floating around this like middling area right here. You're usually like in this area, realistically, but sometimes your brain fools you to think you're here, and sometimes your brain fools you to think you're here. Okay, that's really how people, how we go about life. Our perception really dictates everything. Even if our reality is like, usually like, staying within this vicinity here, our perception is going up here, it's going down here, it's going crazy. You need someone to kind of guide you, to relax you through that, relax you through the swings of poker and life. Okay, so we'll wrap it up right here. I really enjoyed this read. Any book that I do a review on this channel, I really enjoyed. The books that I thought were like okay or like not that good, I'm not going to bring that to you guys on this YouTube channel. I'm only bringing you guys the books that I got a lot of, personally a lot of value from, and I think could be valuable for you guys to read. But yeah, like the video, drop a comment. If you have any suggestions, any questions, any disagreements, whatever it is, drop a comment and subscribe if you're not subscribed. And I'll see you guys in the next video.